Om Samsara Samsara Bhamana Sara Mahan Sambhava Om Basoha Om Samsara Samsara Bhamana Sara Mahan Sambhava Om Basoha Om Samsara Samsara Bhamana Sara Mahan Sambhava Om Basoha Sangji Chu Da Zo Jim Chor Nam La Shan Chu Var Da Da Na Jab Sa Cha Da Qib Jin So Ji Pu So Nam Ji Ro La Pan Chira Sar Ji Ra Para Sho Sangji Chu Da Zo Jim Chor Nam La Shan Chu Var Da Da Na Jab Sa Cha Da Qib Jin So Ji Pu So Nam Ji Ro La Pan Chira Sar Ji Ra Para Sho Sar Ji Chu Da Zo Jim Chor Nam La Shan Chu Var Da Da Na Jab Sa Cha Da Qib Jin So Ji Pu So Nam Ji Ro La Pan Chira Sar Ji Ra Para Sho Sik Jim Do Jin Sang Dun Che Ja Jin Mai Shong Tu Je Sun Ji Chen Bu Tien Man Jiran Ji Tan Kan Ji Par Ji Ra Ba Rin Cho Sha Ji Do La Chang Sara Lo Chang Sara Wa Tang Cho Chang Sha Pa Tang Ji Se Ye Ra Kur Jang Sur Wa Ye Ge Wa Chung Se De Qi Che Se Pa Tan Che De Qi Shan Che Che Ngo Go La Mar Thon Ba Chum Den Di Dev Jin Shek Ba Drap Chum Ba Yang To Par Zo Pa Sar Ji Par Jarwa Shek Cha Tha Ba La Chang Sar Lon Cho To Jab San Che Go La Mar Thon Ba Chum Den Di Dev Jin Shek Ba Drap Chum Ba Yang To Par Zo Pa Sar Ji Par Jarwa Shek Cha Tha Ba La Chang Sar Lon Cho To Jab San Che Go La Mar Thon Ba Chum Den Di Dev Jin Shek Ba Drap Chum Ba Yang To Par Zo Pa Sar Ji Par Jarwa Shek Cha Tha Ba La Chang Sar Lon Cho To Jab San Che Go La Mar Thon Ba Chum Den Di Dev Jin Shek Ba Drap Chum Ba Yang To Par Zo Pa Sar Ji Par Jarwa Shek Cha Tha Ba La Chang Sar Lon Cho To Jab San Che Go La Mar Thon Ba Chum Den Di Dev Jin Shek Ba Drap Chum Ba Yang To Par Zo Pa Sar Ji Par Jarwa Shek Cha Tha Ba La Chang Sar Lon Cho To Jab San Che Go La Mar Thon Ba Chum Den Di Dev Jin Shek Ba Drap Chum Ba Yang To Par Zo Pa Sar Ji Par Jarwa Shek Cha Tha Ba La Chang Sar Lon Cho To Jab San Che Go La Mar Thon Ba Chum Den Di Dev Jin Shek Ba Drap Chum Ba Yang To Par Zo Pa Sar Ji Par Jarwa Shek Cha Tha Ba La Chang Sar Lon Cho To Jab San Che Go Om Mani Mani Mahamana Ye Soha 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 Om Mani Mani Mahamanaye Soha. 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 Agivande Yimyaratada Shakyamana Drupkirani Rovachi Kyamalipa Tiya Salango Parasho Pivracha Bachit Kuchandratang Kuratar Kutsi Satang Jankam Tang Chi Jin San Cho Zombo Chandrava Tendra Kun Narabdo Son Jirabhasho Sanjika Samani Bhavshanar Lavatang Chunyadam Jirabdin Bhavshanar Lav Tang Gendana Chidandan Bhavshanar Lavachi Chirtaram var Munlamad Parasho Tayata Panzataya Awam Burdana Soha Tumban Jirtana Kamsu Shun Batang Tanba Nyugo Vindo Sarava Tang Tanzana Pundu Tarjan Jibayi Tanba Yarani Putrashi Sho.
Namo Fundamental Master Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Grand Master Tulku Khenpo Lodrup Pelden Rinpoche. May all sentient beings be forever free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all sentient beings have eternal joy, peace, and have a happy and peaceful mind. May all sentient beings always have pain-free happiness, and I rejoice. May all sentient beings stay away from greed and anger and maintain equanimity. Contemplation of the sufferings of Samsara. Dharma teaching by Tulku Khenpo Lodrup Pelden Rinpoche. It also requires simultaneous recitation of the ritual text and visualization. The criterion for this practice to arise is the continual recollection of the many sufferings within samsara, deeply feeling that the three realms are like a burning house, utterly devoid of even a moment's peace, so that the mind remains steadily engaged in the practice. Here are two illustrative cases. One, the story of Venerable Malgayayana. Venerable Malgayayana was foremost in supernormal powers among the Buddha's 10 great disciples. Yet even with such extraordinary abilities, he could not escape the law of karma and the cycle of rebirth. In the end, he was killed by non-Buddhists. Once Malgayayana and Sariputra, using their supernormal powers, journeyed together to the realms of hell and hungry ghosts to benefit sentient beings. There they saw that a former teacher of a non-Buddhist sect had died and been reborn in hell, suffering boundless torment. When the former non-Buddhist teacher asked Malgayayana and Sariputra to return to the human realm, he requested that they convey a message to his disciples, that the teachings of the non-Buddhist path are incorrect and deluded, and that the true path of virtuous conduct and authentic Dharma is the teaching transmitted by the Buddha. He expressed the hope that his disciples would abandon the non-Buddhist path and follow the Dharma of Shakyamuni Buddha. After the two Venerable Ones returned to the human realm, Sariputra went first to deliver the message to non-Buddhist followers. However, because Sariputra had no karmic connection with them, they did not hear him. Later, when Malgayayana learned that Sariputra's attempt had been ineffective, he personally went alone to convey to the non-Buddhist disciples the message their former teacher had entrusted to him. Unexpectedly, upon hearing this, the non-Buddhist followers became furious, believing that Venerable Malgayayana was deliberately insulting and slandering their former teacher. They gathered all their disciples and beat Malgayayana with wooden clubs until his body was torn and bloody, casting his corpse aside like a clump of reeds. Yet, given Malgayayana's level of spiritual attainment and his mastery of supernormal powers, even the combined strength of all beings across the 10 directions and 3 realms could not move a single hair on his body, let alone these non-Buddhists. This was because, in a past life, Malgayayana had once cursed his own mother, saying she deserved to be scattered to pieces and beaten like a clump of reeds. The karmic consequences of that harsh speech had not been fully exhausted over countless lifetimes. Even after attaining arhatship, he still had to undergo the residual effects of that karma. Thus, when the negative karma ripened, Malgayayana became as vulnerable as an ordinary being, completely unable to resist the assault of the non-Buddhists.
The story of the Buddha. In a past life, the Buddha was reborn as the son of a wealthy Indian merchant, bearing the name Zavazini. In ancient times, India had a rigid caste system in which children were required to inherit the occupations of their fathers. To prevent him from following in his father's footsteps and venturing out to sea in search of treasure, risking his life, Zava's mother kept him at home. As he gradually came of age, he asked his mother, "What kind of work did father do?" His mother lied to him, saying, "Your father used to sell grain." When he discovered that his father had not been a grain seller, his mother fabricated another lie, saying, "Your father sold incense." And so on. She told so many falsehoods to conceal the true nature of his father's profession. When he finally learned the truth, he returned home in anger and spoke to his mother. "Since father was engaged in the trade of seeking treasure at sea, I too must go to the ocean to search for treasure." Just as he was about to board this boat, his mother clutched the corner of his coat, weeping as she said, "Though your father made his living salvaging treasures from the sea, you must never follow in his footsteps. Otherwise, you will meet the same fate and lose your life to the ocean." However, he had already made up his mind. He was determined to go. He thought to himself, "I am about to set out to salvage treasure from the sea, and mother still crying and saying such ominous things." In that moment, he was furious and kicked his mother in the head. Then he joined the fleet and departed for the ocean to search for treasure. To Gustavo kicking his own mother's in the head, he was reborn in hell, where he suffered the torment of an iron wheel spinning atop his head, causing his skull to shatter and his brain to splatter. In that moment, he felt immense remorse for having struck his mother during his lifetime and made a vow. "May I bear the karmic burden of all those who have kicked or struck their fathers or mothers. I wish that these beings no longer suffer the agony of the iron wheel spinning on top their heads." At the very moment he gave rise to that resolve, the iron wheel atop his head suddenly fell to the ground with a sharp crack. Instantly, he was freed from boundless suffering, rising into the sky to experience the bliss of liberation.
Sutra of the Past Vows of Earth Stored Bodhisattva. Chapter 1. Spiritual Penetrations in the Palace of the Trayastrimsha Heaven. Thus I have heard, at one time the Buddha was in the Trayastrimsha Heaven speaking Dharma for his mother. At that time, uncountably many Buddhas and great Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas from infinite worlds in the 10 directions assembled to praise how Shakyamuni Buddha is able to manifest powerfully great wisdom and spiritual penetrations in the evil world of the 5 turbidities. They lauded how he regulates and subdues the obstinate beings so that they can learn what causes suffering and what brings bliss. Each one sent his attendants to pay their respects to the world-honored one. At that time, the thus come one smiled and emitted billions of great light clouds. There was the light cloud of great fulfillment, the light cloud of great compassion, the light cloud of great wisdom, the light cloud of great prajna, the light cloud of great samadhi, the light cloud of great auspiciousness, the light cloud of great blessings, the light cloud of great merit, the light cloud of great refuge, and the light cloud of great praise. After emitting indescribably many light clouds, he also uttered many wonderful subtle sounds. There was the sound of Dana Paramita, the sound of Shila Paramita, the sound of Shanti Paramita, the sound of Vira Paramita, the sound of Dhyana Paramita, and the sound of Prajna Paramita. There was the sound of compassion, the sound of joyous giving, the sound of liberation, the sound of no outflows, the sound of wisdom, the sound of great wisdom, the sound of the lion's roar, the sound of the great lion's roar, the sound of thunderclouds, and the sound of great thunderclouds. After he had uttered indescribably many sounds, countless millions of gods, dragons, ghosts, and spirits from the Saha world and other worlds also gathered in the palace of the Trayastrimsha heaven. They came from the heaven of the 4 kings, the Trayastrimsha heaven, the Suyama heaven, the Tushita heaven, the blissful transformations heaven, and the heaven of comfort gained through others' transformations. They came from the heaven of the multitudes of Brahma, the heaven of the ministers of Brahma, the heaven of the great Brahma Lord, the heaven of lesser light, the heaven of limitless light, the heaven of light sound, the heaven of lesser purity, the heaven of limitless purity, and the heaven of universal purity. They came from the birth of blessings heaven, the love of blessings heaven, the abundant fruit heaven, the no thought heaven, the no affliction heaven, the no heat heaven, the good views heaven, the good manifestation heaven, the ultimate form heaven, the Mahesharva heaven, and so forth, up to the heaven of the station of neither thought nor non-thought. All those groups of gods, dragons, ghosts, and spirits came and gathered together. Moreover, sea spirits, river spirits, stream spirits, tree spirits, mountain spirits, earth spirits, brook and marsh spirits, sprout and seedling spirits, day, night, and space spirits, heaven spirits, food and drink spirits, grass and wood spirits, and other such spirits from the Saha and other worlds came and gathered together. In addition, all the great ghost kings from the Saha and other worlds came and gathered together. They were the Ghost King of Evil Eyes, the Ghost King Blood Drinker, the Ghost King Essence and Energy Eater, the Ghost King Fetus and Egg Eater, the Ghost King Spreader of Sickness, the Ghost King Collector of Poisons, the Ghost King Kind-Hearted, the Ghost King Blessings and Benefits, the Ghost King Great Regard and Respect, and others. At the time, Shakyamuni Buddha said to the Dharma Prince Manjusri Bodhisattva Mahasattva, as you regard these Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, gods, dragons, ghosts, and spirits from this land and other lands, who are now gathered in the Trayastrimsha heaven, do you know how many of them there are? Manjusri said to the Buddha, World-honored one, even if I were to measure and reckon with my spiritual powers for 1,000 eons, I still would not be able to know how many of them there were. The Buddha told Manjusri, regarding them with my Buddha eye, their numbers cannot be exhausted. Those beings have been taken across, are being taken across, will be taken across, have been brought to accomplishment, are being brought to accomplishment, or will be brought to accomplishment by Earthstore Bodhisattva, Ksitigarbha, throughout many eons. Manjusri said to the Buddha, World-honored one, throughout many eons I have cultivated good roots, and my wisdom has been certified as unobstructed. When I hear what the Buddha says, I immediately accept it with faith. But hearers of small attainment, gods, dragons, and the rest of the Eightfold Division, and beings in the future who hear thus come one, true and sincere words will certainly harbor doubts. Even if they receive the teachings most respectably, they will still be unable to avoid slandering it. My only wish is that the world-honored one will proclaim for everyone what Earthstore Bodhisattva Mahasattva practiced and what vows he made while on the level of planting causes that now enable him to succeed in doing such inconceivable deeds. The Buddha said to Manjusri, by way of analogy, suppose that each blade of grass, tree, forest, rice plant, hemp stalk, bamboo, reed, mountain, rock, and dust mote in a 3,000 great thousand world system was a Ganges river. Then suppose that each grain of sand in each of those Ganges rivers was a world, and that each dust mote in each of those worlds was an eon. Then suppose that each dust mote accumulated in each of those eons was itself an eon. The time lapse since Earthstore Bodhisattva was certified to the position of the 10th ground is 1,000 times longer than that in the above analogy. Even longer was the time that he dwelled on the levels of Hearer and Pratyeka Buddha. Manjusri, the awesome spiritual strength and vows of this Bodhisattva are inconceivable. If good men or women of the future hear this Bodhisattva's name, praise him, behold, and bow to him, call his name, make offerings to him, carve, cast, sculpt, or make lacquered images of him, such people will be reborn in the heaven of the 33 100 times and will never fall into the evil paths. Manjusri, indescribably many eons ago, during the time of a Buddha named Lion Spirit, complete in the 10,000 practices, thus come one, Earthstore Bodhisattva Mahasattva was the son of a great elder. That elder's son upon observing the Buddha's hallmarks and fine features, and how the 1,000 blessings adorned him, asked that Buddha what practices and vows made him so magnificent. Lion sprint complete in the 10,000 practices, thus come one, then said to the elder son, if you wish to have a body like mine, you must first spend a long time liberating beings who are undergoing suffering. Manjusri, that comment caused the elder son to make a vow. From now until the end of future time, throughout uncountable eons, I will use expansive, expedient means to help beings in the 6 paths who are suffering for their offenses. Only when they have all been liberated will I myself become a Buddha. From the time he made that great vow in the presence of that Buddha until now, hundreds of thousands of nayutas of inexpressibly many eons have passed. Yet he still is a bodhisattva.
Another time, inconceivable, Asamakaya, eons ago, there was a Buddha named Enlightenment Flower, Samakahi's self-mastery king, thus come one. That Buddha lifespan has 400 billion Asagamati eons. During this Dharma image age, there lived a Brahmin woman endowed with ample blessings from previous lives who was respected by everyone. Whether she was walking, standing, sitting, or lying down, God surrounded and protected her. Her mother, however, embraced a deviant faith and often slighted the triple jewel. The worthy daughter made use of many expedients in trying to convince her mother to hold right views, but her mother never totally believed. Before long, the mother's life ended and her consciousness fell into the relentless hell. When her mother's life ended, the Brahmin woman, knowing that her mother had not believed in the cause and effect while alive, feared that her karma would certainly pull her into the evil paths. For that reason, she sold the family house and acquired many kinds of incense, flowers, and other gifts. With those, she performed a great offering in that Buddha's stupas and monasteries. She saw an especially fine image of the thus come one enlightenment flower, Sadamahi, self-mastery king, in one of the monasteries. As the Brahmin woman beheld the honored Constance, she became doubly respectful while thinking to herself, Buddhas are called greatly enlightened ones who have attained all wisdom. If this Buddha were in the world, I would ask him where my mother was sent after she died. He would certainly know. The Brahmin woman then wept for a long time as she gazed longingly upon the thus one. Suddenly a voice in the air said, O weeping worthy woman, do not be so sorrowful. I shall now show you where your mother has gone. The Brahmin woman placed her palms together as she addressed space, saying, which virtuous divinity has comforted me in my grief? Ever since the day I lost my mother, I have held her in memory day and night, but there is nowhere I can go to ask about the realm of her rebirth. The voice in the air spoke to the woman again. I am the one whom you behold and worship, the former enlightenment flowers, Sanmahi, self-mastery king, thus come one. Because I have seen that your regard for your mother is double that of ordinary beings. I have come to show you where she is. The Brahmin woman suddenly lunged toward the voice she was hearing and then fell, injuring herself severely. Those around her supported and attended to her, and after a long time she was revived. Then she addressed the air, saying, I hope the Buddha will be compassionate and quickly tell me into what realm my mother has been reborn. I am now near death myself. Enlightenment flower, Samadhi, self-mastery king, thus come one, told the worthy woman, After you make your offerings, return home quickly. Sit upright and concentrate on my name. You will soon know where your mother has been reborn. The Brahmin woman bowed to the Buddha and returned home. The memory of her mother sustained her as she sat, recollecting enlightenment flowers, Samadhi, self-mastery king, thus come one. After doing so for a day and a night, she suddenly saw herself beside a sea whose waters seethed and bubbled. Many evil beasts with iron bodies flew swiftly back and forth over the sea. She saw billions of men and women bubbling up and down in the sea, being fought over, seized, and eaten by the evil beasts. She saw yakshas with different shapes. Some had many hands, some many eyes, some many legs, some many heads. With their sharp fangs, they drove the offenders on toward the evil beasts, or the yakshas themselves seized the offenders and twisted their heads and feet together into shapes so horrible that no one would dare even look at them for long. During that time, the Brahmin woman was naturally without fear due to the power of recollecting the Buddha. A ghost king named Poisonless bowed his head in greeting and said to the worthy woman, "Welcome, O Bodhisattva. What conditions bring you here?" The Brahmin woman asked the ghost king, "What is this place?" Poisonless said, "We are on the western side of the great Iron Ring Mountain, and this is the first of the seas that encircle it." The worthy woman said, "I've heard the hells are within the Iron Ring. Is that actually so?" Poison answered, "Yes, the hells are here." The worthy woman asked, "How have I now come to the hells?" Poisonless answered, "If it was not awesome spiritual strength that brought you here, then it was the power of karma. Those are only two ways that anyone gets here." The worthy woman asked, "Why is this water seething and bubbling, and why are there so many offenders and evil beasts?" Poisonous replied, "These are the beings of Jambudvipa who did evil deeds. They have just died and passed through 49 days without any surviving relatives doing any meritorious deeds on their behalf to rescue them from their distress. Besides that, during their lives, they themselves didn't plant any good causes. Now their own karma calls forth these hells. Their first task is to cross this sea, 10,000 yojanas. East of this sea is another sea, in which they will undergo twice as much suffering. East of that sea is yet another sea, where the sufferings are doubled yet again. But the combined evil causes of the three karmic vehicles evoked is called the Sea of Karma. This is that place." The worthy woman asked the ghost king, Poisonless, "Where are the hells?" Poisonless answered, "Within the three seas are hundreds of thousands of hells, each one different. 18 of these are known as the Great Hells. 500 subsequent ones inflicted limitless cruel sufferings. Following those are hundreds of thousands that inflict limitless further sufferings." The worthy woman again questioned the great ghost king. "My mother died recently. I do not know where she has gone." The ghost king asked the worthy woman, "When the Bodhisattva's mother was alive, what habits did she have?" The worthy woman replied, "My mother held deviant views and ridiculed and slandered the triple jewel. Even if she occasionally believed, she would soon become disrespectful again. She died recently, and I do not know where she was reborn." Poisonless asked, "What was the Bodhisattva's mother's name and clan?" The worthy woman replied, "My parents were both Brahmins. My father's name was Shaila Sudarsana. My mother's name was Yu Di Li." Poisonous placed his palms together and implored the worthy woman, "Please, worthy one, quickly return home. There is no need for you to grieve further. The offender Yu Di Li was born in the heavens 3 days ago. It is said that she received the benefit of offerings made and blessings cultivated by her filial child who practiced giving to enlightenment, flower, samadhi, self-mastery, king, thus come one, at stupidest of monasteries. Not only was Bodhisattva's mother released from the hells, but also the other offenders who were destined for the relentless hell also received bliss and were reborn with her. Having finished speaking, the ghost king put his palms together and withdrew. The Brahmin woman returned swiftly as if from a dream, understood what had happened, and then made a profound and far-reaching vow before the stupidest images of enlightenment flower, samadhi, self-mastery king, thus come one, saying, I vow that until the end of future eons, I will respond to beings suffering for their offenses by using many expedient devices to bring about their liberation. The Buddha told Manjushri, the ghost king, poisonous is the present Bodhisattva foremost wealth. The Brahmin woman is now earth store Bodhisattva.
Om Mantra Sadhu, 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 Om Mantra Om Bandra Sadhu